Every creature on this planet reaches a point in its life when it must wrestle itself from its comfortable nest and plunge into the chaos of a world that's both exciting and dangerous. The bird inevitably must dive from its nest, the bear must inevitably wrestle its first Russian, and the metalhead inevitably must attend their first multi-day metal festival. It is just a simple law of nature that us neckbreakers have an innate craving to surround ourselves with black t-shirts, brutal bands, banging music, and beer. To the young or inexperienced metalhead, going to a festival can serve as a rite of passage, a personal badge of honor, a ceremony to welcome them into the wider world. But deciding on your very first metal festival can seem like an overwhelming task, especially today when there's so many options out there. A question I'm often asked here is, what festival should I go to if I've never been to one before? Are there festivals more accommodating to inexperienced metalheads who maybe don't want to nosedive headfirst into an event that feels like a battle from Vietnam? Well, lucky for you all out there, there are many great choices to pop your festival cherry with, and like the owner of a bathhouse, the savior of metal is here to present all of these lovely choices that are guaranteed to make your first experience a pleasurable one. Headbang the like button, stage dive onto the subscribe button, and windmill the video to your friends. And did you know that for just 99 cents a month you can help support a broke-ass metalhead make stupid videos? If you're a fan of the channel and you'd like to show your support, consider becoming a member. Memberships are only 99 cents a month, and each one really helps me toward my goal of creating a life-size Godzilla to invade Canada. And now let's talk about the best festivals for first-timers. The real answer to what should your first metal festival be first depends on two factors. Which ones are closest to you, and what kind of bands do you want to see? If there's a festival within driving distance of you, then that's probably a good choice for your first time. Or if a festival happens to have all of your favorite bands playing, then that's a pretty safe bet. But what your first festival should be also depends on what type of experience you're looking to have. Do you want an indoor venue with the comforts of a city? Or are you looking to go straight into the world of a multi-stage dirt fest? Or maybe you want to make sure your vacation actually feels like a vacation. Well, whatever the choice, I have several options for you all. Right off the bat, one of the first festivals that comes to mind is Milwaukee Metalfest. Located in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and taking place at The Rave, this is a festival I went to last year for the first time, and while I was there I kept thinking that it would be a great one for first-timers. The venue features 3 stages that are all just a staircase away from each other. It's easy to get around and the lineup is solid as fuck. This one can be as easy or as intense as you choose. If you're not into moshing and going crazy, it's easy to chill in the back with a drink and enjoy the shows, or you can get shit-faced and mosh non-stop for 3 days straight. Since it's located in a major city, there's plenty of hotels and Airbnbs nearby. No waiting in miles-long traffic just to get in here. It's a festival that metal veterans love because it's easy, old school, and underground, but it's also well built for newcomers who may not be ready to storm the fields of Vakken just yet. Last year I actually saw several kids there, probably experienced their first festival and clearly having the time of their lives. If the more death metal, extreme, underground, and hardcore appeals to you, then definitely consider taking a trip to Milwaukee. Now if this here looks like a good time to you, but you're much more of a prog and power metal nerd, then you may want to consider hitting up Atlanta, Georgia for the Progpower Festival. Similar thing here, 3 different venues all located in one building, easy to jump around from stage to bar. The cool thing about Progpower is that it focuses on providing a quality experience for its fans. They always curate a good list of exciting bands from the genre and host many exclusive shows from artists who don't normally play in the US. It's another one that won't have you exhausted just trying to get between stages. There's plenty of places to stay nearby, food options, and bands start a bit later in the day here, meaning you should have no problem attempting to sleep off the hangover from the night before. Maybe power metal isn't your bag at all. Maybe you need something a bit darker and more extreme and drenched in corpse paint. Black metal fanatics will want to make their way to Norway, obviously, for the Inferno festival in Oslo. A yearly ceremony celebrating Satan's favorite bands. The lineups for Inferno are always most excellent. You can expect heavy hitters from the black metal genre, rare appearances, and some mix of death and thrash bands here and there as well. It's an extreme time located right in the center of Oslo, so when you're not watching black metal royalty performing on stage, you can explore the city and take a black metal tour bus to some diabolical historical sites. Just be aware on your black metal field trip that if you try to burn a church down, you will be arrested, so just keep that in mind. Inferno offers an engaging collection of interesting experiences. Apart from the always fantastic lineup, lineup, it always features art exhibits, live talks, and unique works from metal artists. Plus, you're more than likely to find some of your most infamous black metal legends hanging out in the crowd with everyone else. But maybe that's not quite your thing either. Maybe you're old school, and you want a more classic lineup with heavy metal, speed metal, and thrash metal. Then head on over to Houston, Texas for Hell's Heroes Festival. Quickly making a name for itself in the American metal festival market, Hell's Heroes is 2 days and 2 stages of old school heavy hitters, bringing their fans back to the good old days of denim. This one gives you that awesome outdoor festival feel, as well as a good-sized indoor venue to headbang in. It's a really cool, simple, low-key festival for fans of that stripped-down, raw, classic heavy metal sound. But if you're looking for something bigger, if you're looking to go straight into something with multiple massive outdoor stages, huge headliners, and insane audiences, but you would still rather have the comforts of a city rather than camping in a field, then get yourself on over to Helsinki, Finland for the Tuska Festival. Tuska is everything that festivals like Wacken, Hellfest, and Download are. The only difference here, and it's a big one, is that it takes place right in the middle of a major city. There's no camping involved at this festival, but plenty of options throughout the area. Plus all the bars, restaurants, and sites of Helsinki all right nearby. You've also got your huge stage shows, some major artists, and massive mosh pits. This is the first festival on the list that is almost entirely outdoors, so it will definitely get your legs affiliated with festival life. You'll also get the awesome experience of hanging outside all day in hopefully nice weather with thousands of others who love the same bands as you. For beginners, Tuska will definitely open you up to a whole new magnitude of concert experiences. If you're an American and you want that same experience, but you can't quite make it all the way to Finland just yet, then you'll probably want to start with the Danny Wimmer event. Danny Wimmer is a major festival producer in the United States and does the festivals Aftershock in Sacramento, California, Welcome to Rockville in Florida, Louder Than Life in Kentucky, Sonic Temple in Ohio, Rocklahoma in Oklahoma, and Incarceration Festival in Ohio. These are the huge, massive festivals that feature the typical issues you'll have at major events, such as crazy traffic, long lines, pricey food and drinks, shuffling through thousands of people all day while getting sunburnt. And I should point out that these festivals tend to feature the more mainstream of metal bands. Most underground fans like me will be severely disappointed going to any of these, but if this is more of your thing and you want to dive into that big league festival experience, then any of these are going to be a safe bet. But let's say you want to experience the real deal. You want to travel, you want to camp, you want to party hard and see some underground heavy fucking bands, and you love the outdoors and nature shit. Well then get your ass to Slovenia for Tolminator. Tolminator is a growing, badass metal fan summer camp, located on the most beautiful festival location in the world. 4 days camping in a luscious forest where you can swim in a beautiful, pristine river, hike through mountains, paraglide over valleys, and of course see awesome fucking bands. This place is unbelievable. It's like being in a metal fairy tale. And the thing is here, you can be super adventurous, explore and hike all day, then drink and mosh all night. Or you can just kick back at the river all day, chilling with a drink and your friends and hanging the fuck out. This festival is within walking distance of the local town, making it easy to grab some supplies or a meal at a restaurant if needed. And what's really cool about this festival is you can see my band, Dark Insanity, perform there this year. We've been invited to Tolminator for our very first festival performance and we are so very excited. We've started a GoFundMe to try to help us get over the pond, so if you're feeling generous and would like to support us, maybe consider checking it out. Link is in the description for this video and we would really appreciate it. And that is honestly not just shameless self-promotion. If we were not playing this festival, Tolminator would still absolutely be very high on this list. Now if you want to experience the full-on summer metal festival where you're gonna camp and party hard, but also won't be hiking for hours just to get to a stage, then an excellent choice is Bloodstock Open Air in the UK. Bloodstock has been a staple of the metal world for many years now, building a strong community who return every year. Bloodstock has the big performances, the crazy mosh pits, the insane partying in the campground, yet it has managed to stay a decent size over the years. Certainly not small, but nowhere near as intimidating as something like Wacken or Hellfest. Bloodstock always delivers a solid lineup of of legends from metal's history and today's powerful heavy hitters. It's both a familiar home for metal's veterans and an exciting playground for new recruits to the festival family. It's a wild, crazy, fun time that delivers everything you'd want out of a major festival, yet Bloodstock still keeps the focus on the fan experience rather than just trying to squeeze as much money out of them as possible. On the flip side of that though, if you want to spend a decent amount of cash and spoil the shit out of yourself for your first metal festival experience, then perhaps a cruise is more your style. If you're familiar with my channel, you'll already know about 70,000 Tons of Metal, the biggest heavy metal cruise out there that features 60 metal bands kicking ass for 4 days on the high seas. Sailing out of Miami, Florida, and obviously far more pricey than anything mentioned so far, a metal cruise such as this is truly a unique, mind-blowing experience. You're just a couple of steps from multiple different concerts at all times, while you stuff yourself with complimentary food whenever you want. There's a bar every 10 feet, there's a pool and hot tubs. This is the most vacation you can make a metal festival, and the perks are too many to list all of them here. I already have several other videos doing that, but the reason I mentioned 70,000 tons here on this list is for how easy it makes everything once you're on board. If you're new to traveling, or with your family of younger ones, and aren't quite ready to go full speed charging into the fields of a metal festival like it's the ride of the Rohirrim, then a cruise like 70,000 tons of metal is a very good option. You get your own private room nearby at all times, and all the comforts of a resort. But if you're looking to experience some wild heavy metal partying as well, oh man, you will never see anything like this. 70,000 Tons of Metal is not the only cruise out there, however. Lamb of God have started their own cruise called Headbanger's Boat, where they set sail with several of their friends' bands for a wild ride. Also out of Miami, Florida, this boat is a bit smaller and also probably a little less batshit than 70,000 Tons is, to be honest. But it is a solid lineup of well-known, heavy-hitting legends and will give you the unique opportunity to be up close with them. There's several other heavy metal cruises out there as well, like Shiprocked, which is a bit more mainstream focused, and for the Europeans, there's Full Metal Cruise, a German cruise ship that welcomes guests on an epic quest with some classic and melodic bands. Full Metal Cruise seems to be much more relaxed than 70,000 Tons is. I'm sure it's got its wild moments, but this definitely seems more for classic fans whose moshing days are maybe behind them, but are still loyal headbangers all the way. What's really cool about Full Metal Cruise is I guess it does 2 different versions back to back. On this last edition, part 1 went from Germany to Stockholm and Helsinki and back, and then immediately after, part 2 went from Germany to Copenhagen and Oslo and back. Which is awesome. Those are way cooler destinations than 70 goes to. You can spend a long ass time on this boat, seeing some awesome shows while you jump in the pool and enjoy this secluded metal world. Or you can just do one of the voyages as well. Either way, German metal beer boat. Those are all my personal top recommendations for someone considering their very first metal festival. None of these really rank as better or worse than any others. This wasn't a countdown list, but it more so depends on what appeals to you personally. If there's a festival out there I didn't mention with a lineup that you just can't miss, or one in a country that you've always wanted to visit, or one that's just nearby and you have friends going to it, then that probably answers your question right there. No matter what you choose, any metal festival is probably going to be an insane awesome time, unless it's Blue Ridge or Metal Days. If you want to start to dip your toes in and get adjusted to the current of the heavy metal festival world, then any of the ones I've mentioned here are sure to provide you with an amazing, unforgettable first time. For more from me, check out my band Dark Insanity on Instagram, here on the channel, and now on all streaming platforms. We just released our debut EP, Rabid Psychosis, now available. You can find us on Spotify, on iTunes, on Apple Music, on OnlyFans, we're everywhere. And even more exciting news, I now have official merch available for the channel. Now you can get Why It's Metal and Dark Insanity gear. Everything from shirts, hats, hoodies, beanies, travel bags, stickers. Now you can hide your weed in a bag with my name on it. How cool is that? Go to wyattsmetal.spreadshop.com to see everything available, or you can click on the link in the description of this video. Links to all of my cool stuff can be found in the description below. Anyway, that's it for now, and I'll see you in the next video.